Hi there, my name's Whitney Adams, and I am recording my first ever yoga video, and it feels totally weird and awkward to be doing this, so thank you for bearing with me with my first time. Had someone told me a month ago that I would be taking yoga videos, I probably would have said hell no. But here we are, times are changing, and I'm doing my best to adapt and make my offerings accessible to those around me and those in need. So for today's practice, I will invite you to have two props that are similar to blocks. So if you have blocks, please grab them and have them handy. If you don't have blocks at home, that's fine. You could grab some jars or some cans, maybe a couple of boxes. We will utilize them for some support in some of the shapes that we take. So whatever you can kind of find lying around in your house. And then for today's practice, we'll be working with two sort of themes. The first theme is grounding. So I know for me personally, during this time of kind of confusion and constant shift and change, getting mass amounts of information each day, it's really easy to kind of spiral upward, to get stuck in feelings of worry, anxiety, panic, whatever those feelings may be for you. So I'm feeling a lot of pull towards like coming back to the ground, feeling the physicality of my body, feeling the strength of my body, feeling the solidity of the ground, the earth beneath me. So I'll invite us to kind of weave that in throughout practice, is like paying attention to the ground beneath, the physicality of our being, and the earth's support. In addition to grounding, something else I've been finding that is really, really necessary right now is the ability to kind of go with the flow, right? That's something that can be really, really tricky in a time where, again, we're getting kind of constant updates around the effects of what's happening around us, and a lot of really challenging and scary things are happening. So oftentimes what we want to do is kind of rebel or kind of push against what's happening. So today in practice, we'll work on kind of tapping into our own flow, our own rhythm, to finding kind of flowing movement in the body. So you can expect a combination of some grounding work while also some good flow and movement throughout. Take what you need and leave the rest today. You'll see that I'll be primarily practicing with you, demoing along the way, so I can be a kind of visual aid for you if you're not sure about what my verbal cues are telling you to do. But by no means do you need to try to mimic or copy anything that I'm doing. Really allow this practice to work for you, modify, change, add on, take away, whatever you need. With that being said, let's get started. We'll start today in a child's pose. So if you know what that is, you can go ahead and head there now on your mat. I'll invite you to have your knees quite wide. Your toes could maybe be touching together. Your hips will reach back towards your heels. They might not land on the heels, and that's okay. You could grab a block or a pillow, something to put underneath the seat, and then you'll allow the torso to kind of drape in between the two knees in front of you and reach your arms along in front of you. So you can invite the forehead center to land right down on the ground if you have that ability. Otherwise, you'll place a block or a couple of pillows underneath you. But I will invite you to not have the head hovering today and to let the spine be as long as you can. So usually something underneath the torso and underneath the forehead can be helpful here if the ground is far away. I'll give you a moment to kind of get set up into your child's pose. And then as you begin to settle, just take a moment and notice what's present. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? Kind of what's showing up with you on your mat. And then if you can begin to shift your attention towards your body. So just gently become aware of the shape that you're making. Maybe even take a moment and press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Feel the sturdiness of your shins against the mat. Maybe take a moment and feel the forehead center, the third eye, as it presses down into the earth. You could sway the head back and forth, kind of massaging out that third eye center, center of intuition, wisdom. And then maybe just feel the texture of the mat as it press into the arms and the palms of the hands. You could let the arms be passive, or you could really, really reach far in front of you, spreading all 10 fingers nice and wide. And if you can, begin to kind of tap into or sense this kind of earth-like quality beneath you. Maybe even sense the solidity, the strength of the ground beneath you, holding you here. And then we'll begin to shift our attention inwards, more towards our breath. So just begin to become aware of the breath. Nothing to change or do here. Just breathe and notice. Feel how the inhales and the exhales kind of come and go naturally. No force. Right, just beginning to tap into your own rhythm, the fluidity of the breath. Right, maybe even notice the physical body's response to the breath. On the inhale, you might notice a sense of expansion. On the exhale, maybe a bit of contraction. Breathe here for a few more moments, kind of tapping into your own fluidity, your own rhythm, the movement that takes place even in these moments of stillness. And then on your next inhale, you'll just slowly rise on up, find a tabletop position. If there's any intuitive movements you need to take as you kind of get set up here, by all means go for it. But eventually we'll really push down in the tops of the feet and the shins here, and then find your hands about shoulder width distance apart. Really spread the fingers wide and press down with all 10 knuckles into the ground. So feel the strength of the ground beneath you. And then from that sturdiness on an inhale, we'll reach our heart forward, lift your gaze, lift your hips, cow pose. On your exhale, round and dome in the spine, find your cat. Big inhale here, unfurl the heart, gaze lifts. Big exhale, round and dome in the spine, energy moves in. One more big inhale, cow. And one more big exhale here, finding your cat. Next, inhale, find a nice long spine. Crown of the head reaches forward. Gaze can be down at the ground. And then let's reach our right leg behind us. Really activate the legs. Start with pressing the toe mound into the ground. Feel the muscles in the right leg turn on. And then, if you'd like, you can add a little balance. Reach the left arm forward. Fingertips reach long in front of you. Tap into the groundedness of the left shin and the right palm. And then you can stay here or lift the right leg up and back behind you. Right ankle now an extension of the hip. Take an inhale. See if you can grow a bit longer. And take an exhale. Bring your belly button towards your spine here. Protect the low back by strengthening the core. Take another inhale. And then on the exhale, you're going to ground the left hand down, drop the right leg, kick the left foot out. We're finding supported plank here. Right leg long, right fingertips reach towards the sky. Take a moment to pause here. You can let the right foot really press into the ground along with the left shin and the left palm. And then see if you can reach your right fingertips up a little taller. Contain the core by bringing the ribs towards the pelvis. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, ground the right hand back down. From here, we're going to tuck the left toes and lift the right leg up and back. Find a three-legged dog. Right toes point down, and on the exhale, we'll bring the knee through center, moving nice and slow, shoulders over wrists, and then step the right foot in between the two hands. Right away, you can drop the back knee and untuck the back toe. Rise on up, find your Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Take a moment to settle here. You might walk the right foot out a bit to give your hips a bit more space. And then really root down in the right heel. So pressing into the earth and maybe a little sense of pressing back. And then see if you can peel your ribs away from your pelvis, reaching your heart forward and up. Maybe your gaze lifts. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, reach the arms forward and down. Frame the front foot. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee, runner's lunge, gaze forward, nice long spine, and active back leg. Take an inhale. On the exhale, step forward, forward fold. Pause here, let the head hang heavy. Really feel your feet and the way they press into the ground beneath you. Soft knees can be nice, so you can bring the chest more over the thighs here. Shake your head out yes and no if that feels good. Let the arms just hang and dangle. On an inhale, let's come up through a halfway lift. Press the palms into the shins here. The crown of the head reaches forward. The gaze is down. Nice long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, slowly rise up. Soft knees, long spine. Palms press overhead, maybe the gaze lifts. Exhale, hands graze the third eye center, the heart, and land at your side, palms facing forward, mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, arms reach forward and up, palms press. Exhale, lead with the heart, forward fold, soft knees. Halfway lift on the inhale. On the exhale, we'll plant the hands down, big bend in both knees, and then step right foot back and left foot back, finding your plank pose here. Activate both legs. Knees can be down on the ground if you prefer. Crown of the head reaches forward. Take a big breath in, bring your belly button to spine. And then on the exhale, you'll drop the knees and untuck the toes. You'll slowly begin to lower the body down towards the ground as the elbows reach back. Nice control here. Right away, you'll untuck the toes and press the tops of the feet into the ground so much that the kneecaps lift. And on an inhale, you'll lift your shoulders, lift your head. Baby cobra. Exhale, push up and back to your child's pose. Take a moment to pause here in your child's pose. Feel the solidity of the ground beneath you. Feel the physicality of your own body. And tap back into the rhythm of your breath. On your inhale, you'll come up through tabletop yet again. Take a moment if you need any movement here, and then you'll begin to settle in, find some strength and solidity in the body. And then we'll begin to extend the left leg behind you, toe mound on the ground here to begin. Notice that both hips face towards the ground. As you're ready, you'll reach the right arm out in front of you. Fingertips really reach. Long line of energy here. Bring your belly button to the spine. And then if you'd like, you can lift the left leg up and back, an extension of the left hip. Keep breathing here. Stay connected to the ground beneath you and find a bit more length. See if you can reach further out the heel and out the fingertips. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to ground the right palm down, left leg long. Right foot kicks behind you as you reach the left fingers towards the sky. Supported side plank. Activate the left leg. Bring your belly button to your spine and soften the front ribs towards your pelvis. Take an inhale. On the exhale, we'll ground that left hand back down. This time, tuck your right toes. Lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, knee comes through center, foot between your hands. Drop your right knee, untuck your right toe. On the inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to just settle in here. Big inhale, reach a little taller, gaze lifts. Exhale, frame your front foot, tuck your back toes, find runner's lunge. Active back leg, take an inhale. On the exhale, forward fold at the front of your mat. Halfway lift as you arrive, long spine on the inhale. Exhale to bow back down, forward fold. Rise up, palms press, gaze lifts overhead. Exhale, hands through center, landing at your side in your mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a big breath in and out. Feel the groundedness of your feet. Find some buoyancy in your knees. And find some opening across the chest. Next, inhale, the arms reach, palms press, gaze lifts. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, step back, left foot, then right foot. Take an inhale here. Find your strength. On the exhale, knees lifted or lowered, you could come all the way down onto your bellies. Untuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, find your child's pose. Take a breath in and a breath out as you arrive. And notice how you're feeling. We'll begin to tap more into a bit of movement, flow, fluidity here. Transitioning to a few rounds of sun A's. So as you're ready, you'll come up into your downward facing dog. First time here in our full downward facing dog, so give yourself some time to really set up well. Maybe you take some intuitive movements, or maybe you find stillness right away. I'd like to have my feet about hips width distance apart, and then a soft bend in the knees. And as you bend in the knees, you'll press into the palms of your hands so your hips can reach up and back a little higher, nice length in the spine. We'll take 3 breaths here in our first downward facing dog. Make any adjustments that you feel are helpful. And as you're here in this first down dog, can you really ground down in the feet and the hands? And maybe with each inhale, you kind of tap into some grounding or earth-like energy. Next inhale, let's come high on the balls of our feet. Bend in the knees and gaze forward. Hips are still back. And then we'll step forward, maybe right foot, then left foot into your forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to bow. Inhale, rise up, palms press. Exhale, hands through heart center, Tadasana. Inhale to begin again, palms press overhead. Exhale, lead with the heart towards the ground, forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Take an inhale as you arrive. Knees lifted or lowered here. On the exhale, maybe this time you lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale through your upward facing dog or your baby cobra. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. Pause for 3 breaths here. Big inhale. Big exhale. Another breath in. And a breath out. Tapping into the fluidity. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. Inhale, gaze forward. Come high on the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend in the knees, hips back. Maybe this time step left foot forward, then right foot forward, fold. Halfway lift. And bow. Stand tall, root to rise. Exhale, mountain pose, Tadasana. We begin again. Big inhale, follow the rhythm of your own breath. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and choose your path. Find your plank. Take an inhale. On the exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale through your back bend of choice, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, find your downward facing dog and pause for 3 breaths. Even as we begin to move to build some heat, can you tap in to that earth-like energy by really pressing down in all 10 knuckles? Maybe noticing the texture beneath the hands. Really feel the ground support you here in this shape. This time, on your inhale, you're going to reach your right leg up behind you. And then let's take a moment, soft bend in the left knee here. Let's bring the right heel to the seat. And then if you'd like, you can open up the hip a bit. Stay grounded in both palms. Stay in stillness or find some fluidity in the hips by taking some hip circles in one direction and then maybe the other direction. Next, inhale, extend the leg long behind you, long spine. Exhale, knee through center, step between the 2 hands. This time, stay high on the ball of the back heel. Activate the back leg and rise up, find your high lunge. Take a moment to settle in, first time here. Stay grounded in the right heel. And then maybe bring your hands to your hips. You can play with having the left leg long and strong here, or you can soften the knee to bring a little more neutrality in the pelvis to reduce the low back bend. From here, you'll reach up, up, up. Feel the ribs pulling away from the pelvis. Take an inhale, maybe your gaze lifts. On the exhale, we'll begin to activate that back leg as you reach forward, 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 nice long spine. Slow, and then find 2 blocks or 2 props to place underneath your hands, under your shoulders. We'll begin to press down in the right toe mound and straighten the right leg in this sort of pyramid shape. You'll start with a nice long spine, reach the crown forward. Right hip carves back as left hip moves forward. Take an inhale here. And if you'd like to add that bowing action, you can lead the way with your heart, chin tucks to chest at the very last moment. Take a moment to breathe here, and maybe in this bowing position, you find a moment for gratitude. Something you're thankful for in these hard times. Next, inhale. Let's lift up, bend in the front knee, set the props aside, and find your downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up behind you. Bring the heel to the seat and then maybe open up the hip just a bit. Stay grounded in both palms in stillness or find some fluid movement. As you're ready, extend the left leg long behind you like you're stepping on the wall. And then bring knee through center, step left foot between two hands. High on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Take a moment to settle in here. Soft bend in the back knee can usually help. Reach a little taller. Big inhale. Big exhale. Inhale, gaze lifts. Exhale, reach, reach, reach forward, long spine. Slowly find those props underneath your hands. And begin to straighten in the left leg. Left hip moves back. Right hip carves forward. Find a nice long spine here. And on the exhale, if you'd like to add in that bow, you may. Notice if you have a tendency to lock out that left leg. And if so, just add a little micro bend to the left knee. Take another breath in. And another breath out. Inhale through the bent knee. Plant your hands, find your downward facing dog. Take a round of breaths as you arrive. Okay, we'll add on. Lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee through center, step forward. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, gaze lifts, reach higher. Exhale, reach forward, forward, forward. Right hip behind right knee. Find your props, straighten that front leg, long spine, inhale. Exhale, bow forward, pyramid shape. Active back leg, one more breath in. And one more breath out. Okay, this time a little different. Long spine, bend in the right knee. And then bring your props about maybe 8 inches in front of that right foot. We'll begin to take off, finding a supported warrior 3. So wrists are underneath your shoulders. Your left leg reaches back. Flex the left foot like you're stepping on the wall. Soft bend in the right knee. Crown of the head reaches forward. Grow broader in the chest. Take a big inhale here. Take a big exhale. Even here in this very difficult, strong pose, can you find some fluidity in the breath? Okay, as you're ready, you can begin to lower that back leg down. Take a moment to pause and runner's lunge. And then from here, step to your plank. Little different this time. We're going to drop the left knee, kickstand that left foot, and lift the right arm. We've been here before, supported side plank. Take a breath as you arrive. And then if you'd like, you can add on just a little bit, lifting the right leg up into this supported half moon pose. Flex the right foot. Bring the right foot a little more forward than you'd like. Keep reaching through the right fingertips. Take a big inhale. Exhale, drop your knees. Drop your palms. Find your downward facing dog. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Left leg lifts. Exhale, step forward. On the inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, reach a little taller, gaze lifts. Exhale, reach forward, active in the back leg. Find those props. Frame the front foot, straighten the left leg. Take an inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale, bow forward. One more inhale here. And one more exhale. Okay, inhale, bend in that front knee, gaze forward, prepare. Step your props forward in front of the left foot. Take a moment, root down in the left foot, find that sturdiness of the left standing leg as you reach the right leg behind you, right? And you'll notice you want your right ankle to be in line with your right hip rather than up above. So find this nice long line of energy from the right heel out the center of the head. Take a big inhale here. Take a big exhale. Stay grounded in the left foot and in both palms. Okay, this time, slow, 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 lower with control. Find your runner's lunge. Step back to your plank. Supported side plank, right shin down, left arm reaches high. Take a moment to pause here. And maybe this is good for you, or maybe begin to lift that left leg as an extension of the left hip. Flex the left toes. You'll likely feel this in the outer left hip. A lot of work here. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. One more big inhale. Exhale, ground the shins and the palms. Find your downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breaths, either in your downward facing dog, or you can take a moment to pause in child's pose. Allow this to be a moment to come back to the earth, to come back to the body, and to come back to the breath. As you're ready, if you're not in downward facing dog, I'll invite you to head there now. And this time, just a little different. We'll bring the right foot forward between the 2 hands. We're going to ground the back heel down. Find parallel with the back foot and the back edge of the mat. Right heel will either intersect the left heel or the arch. From here, we'll rise up to find your warrior 2 position. So big bend in that front hip, that front knee. Keep the back leg nice and active. Arms are in a big T, chest is broad. Gaze over the front middle finger. Take a few breaths here. Stay grounded in the feet. And feel the strength of your legs here. Right, big, strong pose, warrior 2. Take up space. Okay, we'll begin to straighten in the front leg. And then I like to walk my back foot in just a little bit. We're coming into triangle pose or trikonasana. So you'll also want to have a prop handy, likely on the inside of the right foot. We're going to begin by reaching the right arm forward. Find this nice length in the right side body. Let the right hip carve back just a bit as you keep reaching forward. And then you'll grab that prop and place it on the inside of the right foot. You can start with your left hand on your hip. Right wrist will be right under right shoulder. Keep grounded in both feet. Soft bend in that front leg, and then twist your chest open a bit more. And then if you'd like, you can add the left arm to extend towards the ceiling. And you can choose your gaze here. You could gaze forward, you could gaze upward for a little bit of upliftment, or you could gaze downward for a little bit more grounding. Take 3 breaths. Feel the strength of your legs, the fluidity of your breath. Okay, let's bring our left hand to our left hip again. Begin to bend into the right leg. We're going to reach the right hand in front of the right foot. We're coming into Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. So take your time in getting there. Slowly, the left leg will reach up and back. You'll flex the left foot. Right wrist right under right shoulder. And you can keep your hand on your hip. Your right toes stay facing forward. Stay grounded in the foot. Or you can lift the left arm, twisting the chest open just a bit more. Take a big inhale here. And a big exhale. So even in this very challenging balancing posture, can you stay connected to the ground and trust that it's there to support you? If you wobble and fall, can you smile and laugh and go with the flow of it all? Take one more big inhale. Let's bring the left hand back to the hip. Slowly lower that back leg down. Find your warrior 2. We've been here before. 1 breath in and out. Now we'll flip that front palm. Reverse the warrior. Big side body stretch here. And then reverse the triangle straight in the right leg. 1 more big inhale. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the front foot, runner's lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. One breath in, one breath out. Bring the left foot forward. In between the hands, ground the back heel down, parallel with the back edge of the foot. Inhale to rise on up, find your warrior two. Been here before, second side. Take a moment to really activate in the back leg, the back glute. And then maybe you kind of sense the left hip working here, bringing the left knee out towards the left pinky edge of your foot. Broaden the chest, gaze forward over the middle finger. Okay, take one more big breath in. Big breath out, sink a little deeper. Straighten that front leg, maybe bring that back foot in if you like a shorter stance. And then maybe bring your hands to your hips for a moment and feel them at this kind of diagonal setting. You'll reach the left arm forward as the left hip kind of carves slightly back, nice long length in the left side body, and then find a block, place it on the inside of the left foot, and ground that left palm down. Right hand can stay on hips, but begin to twist the chest open a bit more and keep the left sits bone kind of carving under and back. And then if you'd like, you can extend that right arm upwards towards the sky and then choose your gaze. Big breath in, big breath out. One more inhale. One more exhale. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Gaze down, let's bend in that front knee. And then we'll bring that block or prop in front of your left foot, beginning to take off into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. So the right ankle becomes an extension of the right hip. If you have a wall nearby, you can lean on it for some support, right? Give yourself permission to use all the support that's needed. Take a big breath in. Maybe you gaze down. Then maybe you twist the chest open a bit more. Keep the right foot moving forward and back. Maybe the right hand lifts, fingers towards the ceiling. Another big breath in and big breath out. Okay, right hand to hip. Begin to slowly bend in the left leg as you find the right foot stepping back. Trust that it will land. Find your warrior two. Next, inhale, flip the front palm. Reverse your warrior, stay bent in the front leg to begin. And then straighten that front leg, reverse triangle. Reach, reach, reach with the left fingertips. Big exhale, windmill the hands down. Runner's lunge. Step back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out as you arrive. And then we'll drop our knees and sink our hips back down. Take a moment to pause in child's pose. Give yourself a moment to check in, to notice how you're feeling. Maybe each breath allow yourself to get a bit heavier into the ground beneath you, trusting in its support, trusting it to fully hold you up. And as you're ready, you're going to slowly walk the hands back towards your knees and bring the feet right out in front of you. Let's take a moment in a forward fold. I'll recommend finding some props that you can place underneath the knees. It could be a couple blocks or a couple pillows. But rather than doing this with straight legs, we'll let the knees be soft here. Straighten yourself out so you can sit up with a nice long spine. To begin, flex your toes towards your face. Take an inhale, reach, reach, reach upwards towards the sky. And on the exhale, begin to drape your body, leading with the heart over the legs here. Let the head drop, the chin can tuck to chest. You can let the palms land on the ground. You could hold onto your calves. You could hold onto your toes or your feet. Give yourself a moment to breathe here. Right, for me, forward folds can be this sort of invitation to turn the energy inward. Right, another helpful reminder when we have all kinds of things going on around us to come back home to ourselves, to our body, to our breath. And then maybe even as you're in this forward fold, you can journey in a bit deeper. Trusting and sensing that there's layers underneath your physical body. There's so much more depth to you than your physical being. As you're ready, slowly, slowly peel yourself away from your legs. Take a moment to pause in an upright seat. Release the blocks or the props underneath you. Keep some sort of prop close by, maybe a block or a pillow or two. We'll come down onto our back body. Let's pause with our feet on the ground. Maybe take a moment to just place the hands somewhere on the physical body, the abdomen or the chest. Now feeling the ground underneath the back body. Feeling the heart open towards the sky. And then as you're ready, you can extend the arms long beside you. Your palms could be face down to begin. Notice that your feet are about hips width distance apart and that your ankles are right underneath your knees. On an inhale, we'll begin to lift the chest up a bit, so make a little space between where your shoulder blades meet. And then to join it, we'll press down in the heels and lift the hips, taking a moment in bridge pose. You can keep the arms nice and long. You could grab to the outer edges of the mat and pull the mat so that your chest gets broader, or you could interlace the fingers underneath your seat. Really press the heels into the ground, and even a sense of digging the heels backwards towards your head to let the hamstrings help here. And notice that the tailbone is kind of reaching forward rather than dropping downward. So let the glutes work here for you too. Take your chin out of your chest if it's tucked in. Find some length in the neck or the cervical spine if you can. Take another big breath in. Another big breath out. One more inhale. And one more exhale. Okay, from here, let's release the hands and then find a block or a pillow and place it right underneath the sacrum. So the hips land onto the block here. You can extend the arms long and pause in this supported bridge shape. We'll take a few breaths. And it might feel good to extend one leg long. Could even feel good to extend both legs long. You could flex the toes. Notice how that changes the shape rather than having the legs be passive here. If there's any pain or pinching, just walk out of that. Bring the heels back down to the ground. Take a few breaths there. And then if you do have something underneath you, it could feel nice to bring the feet up in the air. Take a moment in a supported inversion. If you notice your abdomen is doing a ton of work here, you can bring the feet back down and scoot the block forward so that your abdomen doesn't have to work quite as much. Sometimes it can take a few tries to get the prop right where it needs to be so that your legs can begin to feel sort of weightless. See if you can let the abdomen soften a bit. See if you can let the space around your heart soften. You can feel free to stay here and linger as long as you'd like. When you're ready, you can bend the knees. Maybe let the knees come to the chest for a moment. And then ground the heels back down to the earth. Lift the hips. Remove whatever prop you're using. It can feel good to sway the knees side to side. And then let's take a really gentle twist. So let's bring the hips over to the right. Bring the knees up and over to the left. You could tee your arms or find a goalpost shape in your arms. Feel a bit of broadening across the chest here, opening across the armpits, down the arms. Let the gaze be soft or close the eyes completely. See if you can just let the breath return to its natural rhythm. With each exhale, letting yourself grow a bit softer, kind of giving in to gravity here. As you're ready, you'll come back through center, take your time. You'll bring your hips this time over to the left and bring the knees over to the right. If you notice that the ground is far away, you could place a block underneath the knees. Sometimes a prop in between the thighs can feel good too. Choose an arm position that works for you. Maybe even placing one palm over the abdomen. This really allows you to feel the rhythm of the breath with the palm. And as you're ready, you'll come back through center. I'll give you a moment here just to take any last movements or shapes that your body feels like it needs. And then we'll begin to move into our final resting shape. So giving yourself time to settle before eventually finding a place where you can land for several minutes. We'll take about a 5-minute Shavasana today. So allow yourself to really set up well. So you could come down onto the back body, extend the arms, extend the legs. You could place props underneath the knees. You could curl onto your side body for a rest in a fetal shape. Any position that feels really supportive to you. Any position that you feel like you can really let your body rest. So as you begin to find that shape, maybe take a moment and let the gaze soften or let the eyes close. And then with each exhale, can you begin to release a little bit more into the earth? Notice the muscles of the face. Maybe softening between the eyebrows, letting the cheeks hang heavy. Let the top teeth part from the bottom teeth. Let the tongue remove from the roof of the mouth. See if you can invite a softening around the neck muscles, the front of the chest. Letting go of any holding or tension in the abdomen, the hips. Let the leg muscles pull away from the bone. Let the feet rest, softening the space between each and every toe. Feel your whole body here supported by the earth. Feel the fluidity of the breath. Shavasana. in and notice the sounds around you. Maybe even sense the sounds vibrating through you. Feel your physical body in the shape that it rests. Feel yourself being held here. Notice the fluidity of your breath. How the inhales and exhales come without force. As you feel ready, you'll begin to invite some gentle movements into the body. Maybe inviting a deeper inhale and exhale. An invitation to slowly wake the body up. Maybe bring the arms overhead for a big stretch or hug the knees into the chest. You could take a moment to pause in a fetal shape if you'd like. Eventually make yourself up into a seat. Use the support of any props that you need as you sit. And really invite yourself to sit up well, sit up intentionally. So ground the sits bones down. Find a nice long spine, maybe a little openness across the chest, the energetic heart center, and let the crown of the head reach taller. Let's bring the palms to press in front of the heart. Take a moment and bow your head to your heart. Taking this moment to thank yourself for continuing to practice, for carving out the time, for making your health a priority. And bowing to each other in honor of sharing this time and energy together. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Whitney, and hopefully I will see you all at some point again in person, or feel free to keep following these videos as they unfold. All right, stay safe and well, and know that I'm sending my love to each and every one of you and all of your loved ones. All right, bye.